So please keep in mind the difference between statement, prepared statement, and callable statement. We've done programs with all of that, but please have the differences between each of them. Today, we'll go on to another topic, exception handling in JDBC. In JDBC, how your exceptions are handled. Now, the main exception which would come up in JDBC are SQL exceptions. SQL exceptions, they come in from your LANG exceptions, SQL exceptions. These are the various exceptions which can happen. You can have all these exceptions together with a set of warnings called SQL warnings. Now, SQL warning means, your program, it's just a warning. No problem, your program will execute. You might get the result, but it's just like a warning kind of a thing. Usually it comes in data truncation, which means data type mismatch, data incompatibility, and all those kind of stuff. I've shown that in much more detail. These are the various exceptions which can happen together with a warning. Now, let's go in detail about SQL exceptions. Now, SQL exceptions, they do have a few methods also which come together with them. The first method is called get message. It describes what kind of an error you have. The second method is called get SQL state. It will return a numeric value which tells you the state code. Okay, in what state is your particular exception. The next is dot get error code, which could also be an error code, a character number kind of a description. And then imagine you have more than one exception happening. You can give dot get next exception to find out which is the next exception in queue. You even have a method called get cause, okay, which could return you a null value. So these are the methods which can be used in SQL exceptions. Now, all these are things which we saw earlier, okay, in this diagram, the various exceptions which can happen together with one warning. Okay, the subclasses, you have lots of exceptions coming up together with one SQL warning. Now, let's see about what is an SQL warning. As I told you earlier, it is a subclass of your SQL exception. It gives you warnings. Your program will have no problem. Your program might execute. It does not stop the execution of a program. It simply gives you an alert. Like, something should not have happened. That kind of a warning comes in SQL warning. You can get many kind of warnings. It can either be on your connection object, it can be on your statement object, it can be on your result set object, and so on. Now, just like you have SQL exception methods, get message, get SQL state, etc. You even have a method called get warnings method. It will tell you which is the warning you have currently got. We'll see all that with the help of an example so that you'll find it easier. So we'll do one thing, open up your Eclipse workspace. Silja, can you see my workspace?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll even open, I'll have a new program written. Exception demo. Okay. See, in all your normal programs, what we did is, we went very general. We went for exception. You can very much give over here SQL exception also. Okay, and I'm getting an error because I've already thrown SQL exception over here. So without throwing that, you can give directly SQL exception over here. Anyway, we will see exception demo over here. Okay, I'll just I'll copy paste. Just copy paste these statements. I don't have a main. I can just copy paste a main also. Try. Try catch. Okay, I'll just finish off an exception business catch. Now I'll go very specific. I'll go for SQL exception. Catch SQL exception E. Okay. Okay. I now have a simple program. Class.for name connection statement. Okay. Okay. Now let me write a simple statement. Statement dot execute. I'll just have a simple query. Execute update. Select star from EMP. Okay. I have no errors. So I can just make this a bit more like, from where EMP name is equal to, okay, where EMP name is equal to 1, 2, where EMP name is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, as you all know, the employee name, it should be in single quotes. Okay. What do I have employee name? Okay, I'll put Chinnu over here instead of 1, 2, 3. So, I'm having a problem over here. I should have given Chinnu in single quotes. I should have given Chinnu in single quotes, but what I'm doing is I am not giving Chinnu in single quotes, which means, I'm having an SQL error. Let it be like that. Let it be like that. And now let's catch our exception and see all the various methods. Okay, I'll give an SOP. So we'll do one method by method. Message state error code. Okay. SQL message. Okay, so let's see how all these come. Plus E dot get. You have a method called get message. I'll just do a few copy paste. Control C, Control V. SQL message, then SQL state we had. Get. Okay. Get SQL state we had. Okay. Then what else did we have? Get error code, right? SQL error code. Error code. What was that? Get dot get error code. Okay. SQL error code. What else did we have? Get costs. SQL costs. SQL costs dot get costs. Get costs. Okay. We'll even do one thing. We can print the trace. Print stack trace. Okay, which will give you the flow of all the errors in your particular exception which has been caught. Just save my program. So now I've run my program. So let's see everything. Now my SQL message. This is the error message which has come up. Okay, the error message, it will be a combination of characters and numbers. Okay, so I get here ORA because then I'm connecting to the Oracle database, and they have told that it is an error message 904 which says this thing called Chinu. I've got an error over here. This particular portion I'm having an error. They're telling it is an invalid identifier, which they say because employee name. If I describe my table, describe EMP employee name, it is a varchar, but varchar, all varchars should have been in single quotes. But if I had given employee ID equal to 123 without quotes, an error would not have come up because it is a number, and they do not expect single quote. But because EMP name is a varchar, they expect it to be in single quotes, which I have not done. Okay, which I have not done, so they've caused the exception to happen. They're even telling what is the SQL state. Okay, as of now I'm in an error state called this, and this is my error code which happened, the error code which happened, and they're telling the cause, they've identified it as null. And now I've even printed my stack trace. Now stack trace is nothing but it gives a detail about all the exception family flow which did happen in this particular program. Now imagine I corrected my error, like let's say I gave it in the correct format. Anyway, I did not give any SOP or anything, but anyway, there is no exception now caught because I did a perfect querying. I put things in single quote, which means there is no error being caught. Not only that, anything could you do any kind of an SQL. With regards to your SQL, if you do any kind of a mistake. Now here what I did is I missed off many things. I missed off a relational operator. Okay, I should have had a relational operator, because when I'm checking where, when you have a where, there should be a relational operator. If it is a string, it should be equal to, or it can be less than 100 or whatever. Anyway, I did miss a relational operator, and that is what they're specifically telling. You have missed a relational operator. The relational operator is invalid. It is space over here, it is invalid. It should have been something else. But even though I run it, I'll again get the same problem. Because the quoted string, it is not terminated properly. I should have done something like this and this. Okay, employee name is equal. Okay, I look here again. I have a problem. I do have two single quotes over here. Okay, so they're telling it is not terminated properly. I'll do off with a single quote. Okay, now it looks perfect. So these are how SQL exceptions and their methods